The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Happy Wednesday, Keith Tebow from FRC Media. Thank you for joining us. And as we do every Wednesday, we spend a few moments with the mayor of the City of Fall River, Mayor Paul Coogan. Mayor, how are you this week?
I'm great, Keith. How about you?
Good. A rainy Wednesday, better than a snowy Wednesday as we're heading through the rest of the winter. You'll take this any day, right?
I most certainly will. This
All
is
right.
a little mucky and a lot of trash flying, but we'll get it cleaned up.
Yeah, I did see that on some of the local neighborhoods. There was trash bins that had been blown over, but that happens when you have a bad windstorm.
Yep.
I actually want to start with the story that we did last week, promoting the new bookmobile at the library. There was a ribbon cutting this morning. How important is this for the city to bring this back, especially in terms of we no longer have the satellite sites anymore, the library, and also reconnecting the community with its library.
Right. I mean, I think it's very important. I mean, I was looking at we were talking about it yesterday, Keith. There's a list of where they're going to go: city events, Narrows events, St. Vincent's Home, the schools. They're going to be in 2 schools tomorrow. They're going to start right off in Talbot and Tansy, getting the books out to the kids. If we're going to encourage reading, and we know reading is the main success indicator for success in schools, having a mobile library is the way to go. We can show movies. It's got a sound system. There's a big awning that tilts down so we can make sure there's not too much of a glare when you are watching a movie. I got on it today with a bunch of people. It's really impressive, and we're going to get it. It's going to work tomorrow out in the community. So let's see how this goes.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see it at different events. I know throughout the summer. I know we're speaking with Emily at the library. There's plans of having it out and about when the weather gets warmer, and also, when it's not that warm, getting it out so people can access the bookmobile. It's really a really good aspect and expansion, if you will, of library services.
I think it's good.
Yeah. Next item. Last night, the City Council touched upon a proposal led by Councilor Cliff Ponte to create an affordable housing trust fund. We talk a lot here about affordable housing in Fall River and how Fall River is doing its fair share. It would be a system where a trust fund would be set up. Some money would need to be put in, some seed money to be put in. And then that fund could help, developers build affordable housing, can also help first-time home buyers. A lot of options there. What are your thoughts about establishing the trust fund?
Well, again, we had a meeting yesterday with the counselor, myself, and Seth, and that's not a bad idea. He had told us to look at Lynn and how they had got theirs going, and what Lynn did was take $3 million in seed money from ARPA that they kicked off their program. We use, obviously, community development money to do rehab and put affordable apartments together. We're doing that all the time. We're looking for properties. We did one on June Street. We did one on Murray. We're looking at one right now on Linden. So we keep rehabbing property and putting an affordability factor in the rents. We're doing that now. And my only conversations with the council were, where is the money going to come from? We are trying to zero out as much as we can of our opera accounts, because the deadline is coming up quickly on when it's supposed to be committed by. I think if you remember right, when Bristol County gave the city, I think $18 million, but that was under the authority of the city council. They're down to like $160,000 over there. That's not going to do much for affordable housing. Cliff had mentioned a few spots where he's going to see how he can make out trying to solicit some funds, and that's fine. I told him again, if he knows where we can get the money or how the money's going to come to us, we'll definitely look at it. Anything we do to improve housing in the city of Fall River and opportunity, I'm all for. So it's not a bad idea, but it's like many of these ideas, people just think, oh, someone's doing it, they did it this way, let's do it. It's not that easy. We have different needs than Lynn. Lynn committed the money. I guess Lynn could afford to do it. We have things that are pressing also that we're going to try to prioritize where the money goes.
Yeah. but you're not obviously against the process. I mean, if it gets
No, I
started,
mean,
then it's just a matter of just getting the money, right, to get it
Let
going.
me tell you this, Keith. If you come to today with $5 million out of the Keith Tebow Fund to give us money for the city for affordable housing, we'll work with you. I promise you that.
I'll have to check my seat cushions at home to see what I got in spare change. Moving forward, another story that came out the past couple of weeks, and it's actually going to be starting on Monday at Diamond, is a collaboration that they have with Health First Family Care Center, where Health First will actually staff a doctor and a nurse to sort of expand community health care in Fall River through Diamond with using Diamond students. Diamond students can access that and get some services above and beyond that they would normally get with the school nurse. I know that I believe the public schools here have talked about working some sort of partnership with Health First. Is there a possibility that maybe still happening to expand health services here in Fall River?
And it could happen down the road. Again, our problem with Health First when we were trying to do that program with them, we did not have the space in New Jersey. I know that sounds wild to people when they look at the building and they say, "What do you mean we don't?" But literally, they wanted a room near the nurse's office that they could set up in and expand their programs in. We just didn't have it. We talked about having a mobile van in the parking lot. We talked about going up the hill to the old auditorium, using an area up there, but it just never came to be. They ended up settling on Diamond, and we wish them well. Obviously, in Fall River, we're always looking to expand program for our kids. So we don't close the door to anything, but we'll keep an eye on it and see how successful they are at Diamond.
Yeah. And maybe even some opportunities potentially, again, maybe even at the middle schools, because I know speaking
Yeah,
with them, they said, it would be nice to get to that age group as well. That's possible as well, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Anything we do to improve healthcare for the kids in Fall River, I'm all for it.
Yeah. And finally this week, this coming Tuesday is actually the first time that people can vote in 2024. The presidential primary will be held across the Commonwealth, and I believe 14 other states as part of Super Tuesday. On Tuesday, the 29 polling stations will be open. 27 polling stations will be open. We have talked about some of the changes in some of those polling places. And again, another opportunity for people to vote. I want to ask, I know there's early voting going on right now downstairs at Government Center. Have you voted yet?
No, I'm traditionalist, Keith. We talked about it before you went on the air. I like going out to the polling places on election day and see the people that are working hard to make sure we have a fair and honest, transparent election. So I like touching base with people. But the other thing that you have to remember, I believe we have almost 5,600 mail-in ballot requests for this election. So that seems like where the boom is going to be in the mail-in. We haven't had a lot of people coming in to early vote. It's available. It's an option if they want to do it. But the mail-in balloting is really pumping along.
Yeah. And I know in speaking with Chairman Lyons of the Election Commission, he mentioned that, the early voting was popular before the mail ballots came through. And now that mail ballots is part of our, statewide presidential and also, local election, that seems to be the option people are going instead of going to Government Center early. So we ask people, please, if you are registered to vote, please do so on Tuesday, on Election Day. All right, Mayor, I appreciate your time as always. We'll talk soon.
Okay, Keith, thank you.
All right. And as always, thank you for joining us here at FRC Media. Have a great rest of your week.